Hi, this is Professor Johnson, and in this video I am going to be showing you how to make a graph, a scatterplot graph with two different axes for the y-axis. So this is going to be kind of what our final product looks like. So delete that so that we have just our data that we're looking at. Getting it situated accordingly. So time, height, and weight, and we want to plot all of this on the same graph, but the height and the weight have different units, so we're going to want to put them on different axes. So to get started, what I do is I select all of this data, I go to Insert, and then I will go to Scatter. Now when I do that, it puts it all on the same graph, which I want, but it has just the same units on both of these sides, so it looks like this is flat and this is increasing. I want to select one of the data points, go to Format Data Series, and then when I do that, you'll see that this over here changed on the right so that I can plot the series on the primary axis, or I can select the secondary axis. And now that I've selected secondary axis, you can see that a second axis popped up here in addition to this first axis. So now I might want to do a few things. So I can right click on this. I can go to Add Trend Line. When that happens, I have a number of options that appear to me. So I could go with linear, logarithmic, polynomial, power, exponential. Which one you choose kind of depends on your particular application. I am going to go ahead and select logarithmic. I might want to do things like display the equation on the chart. So I have the equation for this over here on the displayed. Something else I might want to do is display the r² value on the chart. So the r² is going to show how closely these points actually fall on this line. With the closer it being to 1, the better they actually fall, and the closer it to being 0, the worse they actually are at falling on the line. So I do that for one of these, and then I can do it for the other axis as well. So the first one was doing it for height. This is weight. So now I can go and add trend line, and it defaults to linear, but I don't really like how that fits. So I might go logarithmic. Still doesn't fit great. Polynomial looks like it's fitting a little bit better. I might go ahead and choose to display the equation on the chart. I'll put this over here, and then display the r² value so that you can see how closely it fits. And this one is 0.9957, so you can see that it fits fairly well. Just enlarge all of this so that everything's a little bit easier to see. So if I go to Home, increase the size on here, go over here and increase the size, go down here and increase the size, just making everything a little bit more readable. Might want to increase the size of the legend as well. Shrink that down so that I can put these things on here and you can actually see them. So now you can see all these things. Other things I might want to do, so I go to Chart Design, Add Chart Element. Oftentimes you'll want to have axes here. So in this case, the axis title is going to be time, and might vary depending on the application. Let's just pretend that this is in years, so I'll put the units there. Again, this is kind of small, so I might want to increase the size there. And then these primary and secondary axes, they probably need titles as well. So I select primary axis, chart element. Sorry, I need the primary vertical axis. I'm going to move my graph over a little bit so that the axis title isn't right on the title. Now, if I recall, this over here on the right is looking at weight in kilograms. And over here, add chart element, axis title, secondary vertical, and height in meters. And then if I go back to home, I can increase the size of these. Just to make everything a little bit more readable. Now I can see as in this hypothetical scenario, as time goes on, weight, which is in the orange here, is going to increase faster and eventually surpass or faster than the height does. So the height tends to level off in this hypothetical scenario, whereas the weight just keeps on going. It does level off, but not nearly as fast. It's oftentimes a good idea to have a chart title as well. So I might call this graph the change in biometric measurements with age graph. Obviously that's not easy to read, so I'm going to shrink this up a little bit, move this down. Increase the size of this title. Maybe even move these guys over here. Move this guy over here. Might even like delete these and record them elsewhere. So this would give you the graph that you're trying to come up with. Hope that was informative, and I'll talk to you guys later.